The ball's teed up. Belly's tortilla is ready. They fly, and we're underway. From the 10, it's Hudson. Takes contact above the 20, and hard to identify which one belongs to LaForce. The home crowd so glad to see Baron Morton at the switch as they begin week 2 with Jacoby Williams on the ground. This offense racked up over 600 total yards last week, but in a crowded Big 12 quarterback conversation, might Morton be a little bit overlooked here in September?
Certainly his head coach feels that way. His shoulder maybe not always being mentioned in the same conversation as some of the other returning quarterbacks in this conference.
They will move quickly. On platform throw here, rising to make the catch. It's Reggie Virgil who scored the first touchdown.
Mark Carney, their head coach, said you've got to expect to win now and work to do that.
Third down, only need a couple. Slipping a tackle. Williams appears to have enough.
But you saw still running with his pads underneath him there.
Rush coming after Morton, able to swing it out. Cameron Dickey in space with a couple of positive yards. He's their other back, and he earned praise from Coach McGuire.
And immediately established his presence on the back end.
Off the play fake, Baron Morton reloads, end zone, Virgil got it! 35 yards, and for the second week in a row, Reggie Virgil strikes first.
Here, we haven't called his name yet, but watch wide receiver number 3, Coy Aiken, hold the attention of the defense on the back end, little switch route, and then he buys up the eyes of the safety right there. You get the post behind for Reggie Virgil and strike up the band for the first time today.
Mike, this is the first meeting between these programs, but Kent State, no stranger to Reggie Virgil and vice versa. He made his first career start in the MAC. Cameron Dickey motions out to empty. Clap for the snap. Clean platform, drives one to the hashes. Bobbled, but secured. That's a completion to John Carlos Miller. He's going to see it. Into the belly of Dickey. He runs over a backer to the 1. New set of downs and goal from the 2. Terrence Carter Jr. in motion, leading the way for Dickey, who punches it in. Reggie Virgil. Now a rushing score for the second week in a row. It's Cameron Dickey.
And what a great job by Terrence Carter on the block. He's viewed as more of the pass catcher. He's 14 yards shy of 1,000 career yards. Would be again, one of 7 FBS tight ends with as much. But you look there, him coming inside out, being able to seal, and he actually gets a 2-bagger right there. Not 1, but 2 blocks on the play to spring his running back.
Montez. Wow, they arrive at his doorstep in a flash. We'll see if it's a sack officially. Right at the line, A.J. Holmes Jr. leading the charge on the defensive front.
Yep, you're going to see the corner blitz come from the short side of the field right here, combined with Romello Height getting that inside move on the tackle, just creating an opportunity for your edge rushers to make a strong start to the season last week.
Give it to the motion man, Jacoby Williams, from a 2-back set. He was split out. And look, I think we can all see this collision snap on a 2-point try. And that was all in the first quarter. Out of his hand quickly. Really felt the rush there. Now into space. Jacoby Williams is special. Williams stays in. Play fake. Morton well protected. Spins one. End zone. He drops it in the bucket. Coy Aiken reels it in. 42 yards.
And then the next play, we got the double move from Aiken, streaking wide open up that seam.
Freshman from Beloit, Ohio. Went to West Branch, about 25 miles southeast of Kent. And he gets a rude welcome in Lubbock. Whew. What would the Eagles do? They'd add another defensive lineman, and that's exactly what Tech did here. Nowhere to run. This defense has been stout. To help protect him, that's Cade Wolford. So he started his career as a running back, caught a couple of touchdowns as a receiver last week. Tech trying to avoid punting for the first time this season. They hit the crosser. Get in the hands of Caleb Douglas up to the 40, and that gives them something to think about. Donovan Delaney Jr., the tailback, flipping to the left side to protect his quarterback, who drives one. That was a strike up to the 16-yard line. Darius Clark, who was somehow not the MAC special teams player of the week. Looking for their first down of week 2. Straight ahead into a wall. Repelled by Jacob Rodriguez and the rest of this interior.
North Carolina transfer at left tackle, just a massive human being.
That's Terrence Carter Jr. in motion. They run it from the gun again. Jacoby Williams behind his pads. Burrows down to the 30.
4 years at Miami of Ohio, all coming together in a position group that requires a lot of continuity to be successful, as you see the scramble.
New set of downs after the Morton scramble. Good to see him step through pressure. Here come the golden flashes as he swings it out to his tailback. And Williams stopped at the 25-yard line. Davion Carter got that extra year of eligibility. Mark Carney, interim head coach of the Kent State Golden Flashes. Jacoby Williams with lead blockers around the right side. Inside the 10 before he's shouldered out with first and goal. Joel Cordoba kept it out of the end zone for now.
Offensive line getting out and moving on the perimeter.
This Upton Belenfant getting his turn in the place-kicking game. He's good from 23 to expand the lead to 24. Off play action. Put it on his number. Micah Hudson, a former 5-star for these Red Raiders. They've got Caleb Douglas in motion. Deep drop here all day from Morton. There is Douglas battling and steps out with first and goal, wearing that famed number 5. So great to have Crabtree in the studio today.
But a chance for redemption.
Gain at 29. They'll trust Dickey riding the surge of that offensive line. Down inside the 1. Sheridan Wilson, the center, ready to snap it back to Morton. And on 4th down, they find a way to put it in the paint. Just like they always say, if you can't go through them, go around them.
And going around the big fella on the left side.
Gonna rush over left tackle. Coming after Montez. They flush him off his spot, but that's a well-designed screen. Gavin Garcia crossing the field. He's got the first down of the day for Kent State and a ton more inside the 30. Brendan Jordan had to retrieve him deep in that secondary to pick up a 27.
You're going to see Romello Height coming screaming off the left side again, but great timing by the offensive line. And back here getting it out and then puts his foot in the ground.
On 8 years, so he's glad to be back in Texas. Look out here. Well, you wanted them to be aggressive, but there's only so much you can do, and Romello Height is knocking on your door.
You want to take a shot deep, but you got to have time to do it. And this has been the drive defined by Romello here. Skylar Gill-Howard coming up from the inside. So when you're the quarterback and you got all that edge pressure, but there's no safe harbor to step up on the inside, and you're trying to hold with that token play.
Got his height as well. Montez retreating. That one's batted. That one's picked. And we got action in Lubbock. Skylar Gill-Howard. A big man touchdown.
JB, I am levitating in this booth.
Now part of a decorated transfer portal class. Give the assist to Lee Hunter. Give the assist to the big paw of A.J. Holmes Jr. Golick, take us the rest of the way home.
Looked it all the way in and never looked back. Did he create some space there? The burst on the back end, the ball security.
They just threw their first interception of this season. Now looking to get back on track offensively with Gavin Garcia, who authored their most productive offensive play. And they're halfway home in this second period. 38 on the board for Texas Tech after that interception return. Montez going to scramble for a new set of downs. Garcia back in the backfield. They shoot it to the visiting sideline and twist it down at the 45-yard line. It's Deshaun Martin, senior linebacker. Jacoby Williams takes the handoff to the 40. 3rd down upcoming with 4.5 to go before the break. Downs to get these 5, but this is the territory where they typically are in 4-down mode. Aiken picks it up on one throw out to the perimeter, and he tumbles inside the 30 with a fresh set of downs and 10 yards on that catch and run.
Off that quick wide receiver screen.
And Baron Morton working through an injury this week. Swings one out to the near sideline, reminiscent of one of the all-time greats who played here.
In honor of Patrick. That was a tough outing. A great look at Jesse Minter's defense.
Through the left side. Pinballing off of contact. Great balance from Jacoby Williams. Another Tech first down. He was 1 for 1. 47 would, of course, be a new career long. And he stripes it. Woo! Stone Harrington have a day. 41-0.
Even the kickers are big around here. 6'3", 200 pounds.
The final minute of the opening half. Kent State will keep it on the ground. What a show of respect, right? On 3rd down and long. Reggie Virgil. Protection is there. Check it down, Dickey racing for the sideline, and he gets just shy of midfield. C.J. Young takes him out of bounds. So he's up top in that 2-point stance with Virgil. That's where Morton looks. Comes off that read. Keeps the play alive and right on cue. It's TC. Oh, he steps through a tackle and runs over another. Rumbling to the 5 and an ovation from Lubbock. Terrence Carter Jr.
Again, Terrence Carter working to the left and just going to stay alive. Keep working across the field, and all of a sudden the defense eyes come up, and he's sitting wide open in the soft spot in the middle. And then the effort at the end here. You heard the crowd on their feet. That's the kind of stuff, even in a blowout, will get the sideline fired up for a player now well over 1,000 career receiving yards.
Clock rolls, ball made ready for play. To the end zone, contested catch. Unbelievable. Reggie Virgil with his second touchdown, Texas Tech.
But then the one-on-one goal line fade for Reggie Virgil, arguably your best wide receiver. You see him slow the feet, and then even getting held, just goes up and makes the strong catch. We'll get a look here and make sure he controls it all the way through the ground. Plenty of conversation about what is and isn't a catch in college.
A good note there, using 8 different receivers as well. And we're pumped to see Will Hammond equally. He could be the future of this program at quarterback. Edge replacing the Cadillacs in front of him as described by these coaching staffs. And Gavin Garcia has been carrying the load on the ground and not finding much success as Jacob Rodriguez, the preseason Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Wolford's in the backfield, and they use him as a decoy to set up this tunnel screen, and they break one here. Slicing across midfield with another chunk play. Been really difficult to come by. Get into DeShield's lap. Nowhere to go. He just called his name. Jaden Cofield, a sophomore who had a key tackle to preserve the overtime win against a lesser opponent, Abilene Christian, last year. That game was on the mind of this program as they prepared to be heavy favorites against Kent State.
Yeah, they asked Joey McGuire, and does a loss like Northern Illinois over Notre Dame ring in your head? And he brought up, he said, no, Abilene Christian against us. It's a reminder that in these games, we see plenty of teams.
Was proud of him for running downhill. Wow, gets the perimeter here. Forget downhill. How about a sideline scamper all the way into Kent State territory? Atiq Muhammad ran him out.
He said, you want dynamic? I'm a chameleon. You're going to see him get up to the edge here. Out here and a chance to see what the picture looks like on schedule.
Now Hammond leaves the pocket, turns the corner. What's your speed rating?
That's got to be at least a 92, right?
210 pounds. They substituted, so Kent State has a chance to match. Back in the hands of Hill. A car crash after he gained the line. And I think they... Play clock hits 5 here after that shift in formation. They will run it. Penetration. Kent State got there, and I don't think Hill keeps the drive alive. Yeah, it's a takeaway on downs. It is. Unorthodox way to pick up a first down, but they'll take it as the sun starts to break through a bit. Donovan Delaney Jr. gets a carry here, having just lost their right tackle Garrett Masterson, who was helped off the field. 4-man rush, pocket breaks down, QB takes off, and he's close. Initial spot, they gave it to him. Garcia returns to the backfield. Short set, ball up in the air. That's caught, but it's going the wrong way. Did see a pick 6 back in our first half. Red Raiders pursuing to the ball, and Stone on that attempt. Stone in motion. And they put it out on the perimeter. Kelby Valson up to midfield. Next week, Valson goes head-to-head with his brother, Jimmy, a senior wide receiver at Oregon State. Let's bring in Allie LaForce.
He likes when people say he can't do something, so they send media articles on there. They send any sort of doubt just to fire him up. They know how to get under his skin in the most positive way. And that's
in certainly adverse circumstances is a challenge that they face, and that's one of the ways they try and help out.
All day for Will Hammond to pick out a target at the 10. Bryson Jones, touchdown, Red Raiders, 38 yards.
Comfortable in is that Y cross, so you get him working all the way across the field here from up underneath. All that attention paid underneath. It was such a cool human dad moment talking about that with Joey McGuire. He said his daughter sent him that, and he's sitting there crying. As a parent, and you're a parent, you can tell.
There's Giancarlo Miller in motion. Handles a high snap, no sweat. Gets away from pressure up the middle and makes lemonade.
Davion Carter, so some pressure in areas he maybe wasn't used to with that first team group out there.
Good ball handling at the mesh point to set up a completion to Giancarlo Miller.
Whether it's in the conference, I think we heard a lot of that insinuated at Big 12 Media Day by some of Texas Tech's rivals, to nationally, it absolutely heightens the expectations externally, but they're already sky high internally. Opponents that are going to stress you in far different ways than these first two games have.
DeShields cuts one loose, and oh, what a catch! Right in front of his own sideline. A chunk play for Ardell Banks, a sophomore.
Just a great play on the ball by Banks. You see Grant and
Marcus Hicks in the backfield. DeShields on what looked to be a design run for the quarterback, and can underscore how important these moments are for him on the road to make him snap it again on 4th down and 1. Pressure from the edge. What a play over the top. And a touchdown saving tackle by Ashton Hampton. A couple of tight ends attached to this formation. Drew on the keeper. He's got a lane. He's got a touchdown. Drew DeShields from the 10, and Kent State is on the board.
We talked about Kent State using his legs here. You're going to see the counter pullers from the backside here. A phenomenal job taking care of the ball and taking it away on defense.
So after Kent State got on the board for the first time, Texas Tech will run it up to the 30 as we welcome Cody Campbell.
We want to elevate this program to where we know it belongs, to the place that we know it belongs. So we built a $250 million football facility. We have the talent, we have the coaching staff, we have the facilities, we have the support from the community, we have the support from the boosters. We've prioritized that. And you've seen how our defensive line has played. Right now we have our 3rd, maybe 4th string in there. But when you see our first line guys in there, they're pretty hard to stop. Same thing on the offensive line in the NFL after they're done. And that was the key to our success. Everybody focused on the air raid and all the passes we threw. Honestly, it was largely because we were really good.
Winning this frame, this 4th quarter, 14-0. Let's see if Will Hammond and the reserves on offense can salt this one away. Adam Hill gets the carry, and carry is the appropriate word. It's nearly as much time as we were hoping to with one of the leading voices right now in college football. Here's a good run, well blocked through the right side. Stepping through an ankle tackle, Adam Hill will not be denied. 23 more.
That's how you go make good and respond, right? Turn the page.
Hill as the epitome of Texas high school football, a 2-time state champ at Albany. That throws on the money to the 40. Roy Alexander fighting for first down yardage to the 33.
Be able to string together multiple drives where the adrenaline can wear off and you can just play football and try to execute what you've been taught is valuable.
That's a dot right between the hash marks. Alexander. Will Hammond with the command at the line of scrimmage. They say he's super cerebral, right? He's a perfectionist. He wants to have everything aligned pre-snap before triggering. Hill's going to split out left, so they motion to empty. QB drop behind his blocks, picking his way to pay dirt. Touchdown, Will Hammond. The Red Raiders are rolling. Will Hammond controlling the second. You and I saw him last year in Albuquerque. Not surprised to see him find early success. Mitch Griffiths is the new quarterback. And he's cut down with a run of 12 yards and a first down.
Actually spent last season as a project manager for a concrete company and then realized, hey, I still have more to give to the game. I still want to be involved, and tweeted about it. And Matt Leftwich had recruited him some at Texas State. So he's...
Texas Tech has not trailed so far this September. Another ball carrier spun down for a loss. Michael Henderson hurting on the trainers table for Texas Tech as well. That rush bottled up. They bought their QB some time. And Mitch Griffiths hits Price Morgan for a dozen and a new set of downs. To salt away their second victory. Big run here, right side. Hill lowers the shoulder and spills inside the 35. Break 100 yards for Hill on this next carry. Instead, he's going backward. Griffiths, the third quarterback, and the senior. Does beat the buzzer, so to speak. Look at this. It breaks around the left side and nearly went the distance. Another first down in the high red area when we continue. Northeast Ohio with us and to our hosts at Texas Tech. Convincing winners once again, 62-14 over Kent State to improve to 2-0.
As advertised, right? This portal class we talked about off the top, the new coaches brought in as a part of this staff here.